She has survived sepsis, a kidney transplant, a psychotic breakdown, being drugged with LSD by a serial killer, and more near-death experiences than almost anyone else on the cobbles. But now, after everything Carla Connor has lived through in 19 years on Coronation Street, there are growing signs that her time in Weatherfield could finally be coming to an end, and it's happening in the middle of one of the darkest storylines the show has ever given her. If you thought Carla's kidnap ordeal was already about as dramatic as Corrie gets, wait until you hear what fans think is coming next, because the twist brewing behind the scenes might be the one that finally writes her out for good. If you're just catching up, here's why Coronation Street fans have been glued to their screens and flooding social media with theories over the last few weeks. Carla Connor, played by the brilliant Allison King, has just come through a horrifying kidnap plot at the hands of her own stepdaughter's ex, the twisted villain Becky Swain. What looked like Carla simply walking away from her marriage to jet off to Lanzarote turned out to be an elaborate deception, with Becky holding her hostage, gagged and locked away, while using her phone to send cruel, manipulative messages to her devastated wife, Lisa Swain. It was one of the soap's most chilling festive twists in years, and just as viewers thought the drama was finally settling down, whispers have started to build that Carla's next chapter could be her very last one. For anyone who hasn't followed Coronation Street closely, it's worth understanding just how central Carla Connor has become to the show. Allison King first stepped into the role back in December 2006, playing the sharp-tongued, hard-drinking, endlessly resilient businesswoman who took over the underwear factory and never really let go of Weatherfield's spotlight since. Over the years, Carla has been through 5 marriages, several breakdowns, business collapses, and some of the most talked-about storylines in the program's history, including her unforgettable ordeal at the hands of serial killer Stephen Reed, who spiked her drinks in an attempt to make her look mentally unfit to run the factory. She survived that. She survived a kidnapping by her own criminal half-brother Rob Donovan. She survived sepsis and a life-threatening kidney condition. Through it all, King has cemented Carla as one of the most enduring and beloved characters on British television, a woman fans have nicknamed the street's unkillable queen. More recently, the character has been at the heart of a huge romantic storyline, falling in love with DS Lisa Swain and eventually marrying her, becoming stepmother to Lisa's troubled daughter Betsy in the process. It's a relationship that has given Carla some of her softest, happiest moments in years. But Coronation Street being Coronation Street, happiness was never going to last long without a spanner being thrown into the works. That spanner arrived in the shape of Becky Swain, Lisa's manipulative ex, who returned to Weatherfield determined to destroy Carla's marriage and reclaim her family, whatever the cost. Now, onto the story everyone's talking about. According to reports circulating among soap watchers, Carla's future on the cobbles is said to be hanging by a thread, with some outlets suggesting her exit has effectively been sealed following the fallout from Becky's kidnapping scheme. The theory gaining traction among fans centers on the idea that the trauma Carla has just endured, being drugged, imprisoned, and psychologically tortured by someone masquerading as her while her marriage fell apart around her, could be the catalyst producers used to send her off in dramatic fashion. It wouldn't be the first time Coronation Street has used a horrifying ordeal as the springboard for a major departure, and longtime viewers know all too well that surviving a crisis on this show rarely means a character is safe for good. Adding fuel to the speculation is the show's own teasing of a major, flash-forward special that aired earlier this year, offering a glimpse into a mysterious death on the street with 5 potential victims left unconfirmed. Producer Kate Brooks described it as a story where everyone's impacted, promising that viewers would be taken on a journey to discover not who committed a crime, but who the victim actually was. Fans have spent months picking over every clue, and with Carla having just lived through weeks of psychological torment, kidnapping, and captivity, more than a few viewers now believe she could be connected to that mystery in ways nobody has predicted. Interestingly, Brooks also teased a much brighter future for Carla and Lisa, hinting that wedding bells were certainly ringing for the couple and that a happy ending was on the cards. That contradiction, A tender happy ever after being promised in one breath and dark exit theories swirling in the next is exactly the kind of unpredictable storytelling that has kept fans hooked and endlessly speculating about what's actually coming. The unexpected twist fueling all of this chatter is rooted in just how far Becky was willing to go to erase Carla from the picture entirely. Viewers watched in horror as it was revealed that Carla never made it to Spain at all. She had been drugged, gagged, and locked in a cupboard inside Becky's flat while her seemingly loving messages to Lisa were being faked by her captor. It was a masterclass in soap villainy, cruel, calculated, and utterly convincing, with Becky manipulating Lisa's grief and confusion to try and win her ex-wife back. For a character as fiercely independent and outspoken as Carla, being silenced and controlled in this way struck fans as a particularly cruel twist, and many have pointed out that this kind of trauma tends to leave a lasting mark on a soap character's storyline, often setting the stage for a bigger departure down the line. Fan reaction across social media has been intense, to put it mildly. Online forums and comment sections beneath Coronation Street spoiler articles have been filled with viewers debating whether the show is finally preparing to let go of Carla after nearly 2 decades. Some fans have expressed heartbreak at the idea of losing one of the show's most iconic figures, with several longtime viewers describing her as the beating heart of Weatherfield and arguing that Corrie simply wouldn't be the same without her sharp wit and larger-than-life presence. Others have taken a more hopeful view, pointing to the producers' comments about wedding bells and a happy future for Carla and Lisa as evidence that any talk of an exit might be premature or even a clever misdirect designed to keep fans guessing. It's exactly the kind of split reaction that shows just how much this storyline has gripped the fanbase, with entertainment outlets picking up on the debate and further amplifying the speculation. So what could this actually mean for the future of the show, for Carla and for Alison King herself? If the exit rumors do prove accurate, it would mark the end of an era for Coronation Street. Carla has been reintroduced, written out, and brought back more than once over the years, but a departure at this stage, following her marriage to Lisa and in the wake of such a traumatic kidnap storyline, would likely be treated as one of the show's biggest send-offs in recent memory. Soaps rarely let a character of Carla's stature leave quietly, and if producers are indeed building toward writing her off, expect a multi-week storyline packed with twists, confrontations, and a send-off dramatic enough to match 19 years of history. For Alison King, who has become one of the most recognizable faces on British soap television, any departure would undoubtedly be described as a career-defining moment, and fans would be watching closely to see whether it's framed as permanent or simply another chapter in Carla's long history of leaving and returning to Weatherfield. There's also the question of what this means for Lisa Swain and the wider Swain family. Having only recently escaped Becky's toxic grip and found happiness with Carla, Lisa would be left devastated by any exit, and the ripple effects would likely spread across Betsy, Kit, and the rest of the extended cast who have become entangled in this storyline. Given how central the Who is the mystery victim flash-forward plot has become to the show's 2026 storytelling, some fans are speculating that Carla's fate could be deliberately tied into that bigger, season-spanning mystery, meaning her story might not conclude quietly at all, but instead become the emotional centerpiece of one of Coronation Street's most ambitious multi-character arcs in years. As for what could happen next, theories are already spreading fast. Some viewers believe Becky isn't finished with her scheming and could strike again now that her first plan has unraveled, potentially escalating things even further as she grows more desperate to keep Lisa in her life. Others think the show could introduce a new threat altogether, perhaps tying in returning characters from Carla's turbulent past, given how often figures like her brother Rob Donovan have resurfaced to cause chaos just when things seem to be settling down. There's also chatter that the newest arrival on the street, the mysterious and manipulative Jodie Ramsey, could end up playing a far bigger role in Carla and Lisa's story than anyone currently expects, especially given her established talent for lying, scheming, and inserting herself into other people's lives. Whether any of these theories turn out to be accurate remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. Coronation Street bosses have positioned Carla right at the center of the show's biggest ongoing mystery, and that's rarely a comfortable place for a soap character to be. To sum it all up, Coronation Street fans have plenty to unpack right now. Carla Connor has just survived a horrifying kidnap ordeal engineered by Becky Swain, one of the most calculated villain plots the show has delivered in recent memory, and in the aftermath, speculation is mounting that her time on the cobbles could be drawing to a close after 19 remarkable years. Producers have simultaneously teased a joyful wedding future for Carla and Lisa, while also fueling theories that Carla could be connected to the show's biggest ongoing mystery surrounding an unconfirmed death on the street. Whether this ends in tragedy, triumph, or simply another twist in Carla's already eventful history, one thing's for certain: Coronation Street isn't finished with this story yet, and neither are its fans. So, what do you think is really coming for Carla Connor? Do you believe her exit truly is sealed? Or is this just another clever misdirect from the Corrie writers designed to keep us all guessing? Let us know your theories down in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the latest Coronation Street news, spoilers, and updates. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.